Welcome back. When it got cold about 2 months ago, I brought my Meyer Lemons inside, so I'm going to go back to some clips I have of when I decided to bring them inside, and then we'll come back around and we'll look at all the plants and see how well they have done inside. It's been really remarkable and exciting. We have our first frost coming in tonight, so it's time to start taking my lemons and my limes inside, and my avocado. So here, I have my avocado. These were outside all summer from about March until now. It's November 1st, and we're gonna take them in. This is my avocado. This thing did awesome outside. All this is new growth. This whole branch is actually new. I'm gonna keep it on. I wasn't sure if I would keep it on, but that's a lot of growth when I go inside. And then all of this was out here all summer. I got a little bit of dry spots, brown spots. It got dry the last month. The avocado plant has new growth up here, right here. So the avocado plant is doing well. It did lose a lot of its leaves when I brought it inside, but that happened last year. But because there's still some new growth growing, I'm pretty excited about where it's gonna go. And the new branch that grew, I did decide to leave it on, and as you can see, it's still growing. It still has its leaves. We were gone for 2 weeks at Christmas, so they got pretty dry, so I have to make sure I keep watering everything. But my lemon plant and my avocado are doing great. Here is a lime. This has done really well. This dark green is all new growth, and actually there's some flowers on here. I didn't know that. So here's some flowers. Oh, that's cool. So I'm gonna have to watch this, and I might be able to pollinate them, start getting some plants growing, or one lime down here that's growing. So there's one lime down there. Oh, and there's some more flowers over there. So here's the other lime plant. I'm taking this one inside, and then we'll go find a spot for it. This one had tons of new growth from the bottom. Beginning of the summer, I only had this one, and now I have a bunch. So I don't know how much of those I need to cut or where they're coming on the rootstock, but it seems high. But I don't know how I want it growing all of those. Here's my lemon, and this one actually I did notice that it had some flowers. This has been my most flowering lemon, but I've never got any lemons from it. And actually there's maybe a small lemon right in here. And we'll see if that one will actually grow. But I can keep this open. When this opens up in a couple weeks, or maybe a couple days, I'll get my paintbrush and I'll have to hand pollinate these. This one I hand pollinated in March, and look it is full of lemons. So I'm gonna take these inside before it definitely gets wet. And there's new flowers. Like I said, I haven't been out here in a week. They're huge flowers. Interesting. I don't know if I want it flowering again. I guess these are pretty much done. Oh, and here's a lemon. And another lemon. So I haven't been out here, so I have lemons. So I gave these a big feeding about 2 weeks ago, and then I gave them a big watering yesterday because I knew I was going to be taking them inside, but I didn't want to water them right away. So they have wet dirt, and when you're inside, I don't water as much because it gets more likely to rot the roots because it doesn't dry out as fast. I still make sure I water them, and then I spray them a spray of water, and I take them inside. I gave the lemons and plants a full day in the sun today, and it's the end of the day now, so I think that's the best time to take it in. The air temperature difference is not so bad, so it's not gonna go from a huge temperature to cooler inside. This is an important part of keeping your lemons growing when you bring them inside for the winter. With the heat on, I have to make sure that I'm always keeping my leaves a little bit on the wet side. It'll dry off pretty quick. But check these lemons out. So we've been inside for 2 months now, and these lemons are doing absolutely amazing. So these are the same ones that I had outside, and they're still growing. I did have a bunch of flowers. What I come do is I bring my paintbrush that I have right here, and I hand pollinated them. So I had to hand pollinate them when they're inside, but because I already had lemons, and I think 1 or 2 new lemons did start to grow, I did not get a bunch of lemons. When I brought them inside, this lemon plant has been doing great. My lime tree still has all my limes. I have 3 limes. This one lost almost all of its leaves except for the sides that's facing the window. But just like last year, I had the same issue, and it all came back and did perfectly fine in the summer. So I have probably about another month and a half, 2 months of being inside. And then when I take them outside in the spring, I'll prune them up so that they're kind of less bushy and kind of can grow nicer. I do have all these flowers that I have been hand pollinating when they're inside, because when they're inside, there's no wind, there's no bugs, there's nothing to pollinate the plants. So you have to use your little brush and you have to do it yourself, which takes 30 seconds, and it's actually kind of fun. You know when it's working right because it's real sticky. But I'll come back through here and clean these up. But got it by the window. I'm probably going to start rotating it to see if I can get some new leaves to start growing. But the side that's facing the window, the leaves are all doing well. Here's the coffee plant, still doing well. Haven't had any issues with it. It's doing a lot better this year than last year. Last year I did not put it by the window. And as you can see, the leaves start to turn towards the window, which is actually kind of cool. So I kind of keep moving them around a little bit. But you can see it's towards the window. This is the other lime plant that's grown really big. It hasn't really had a lot of flowers yet. I did get some flowers when we brought it in, but it needs to get watered. One thing to make sure when they're inside, because this one is also under a vent, is that it needs to be watered when it's inside. So we like to give it water. Also, the kids enjoy water. This one's in his room, and then he keeps it nice and wet. But we've kind of neglected him after being gone for a couple weeks. This one doesn't have any fruit on it, but some of the leaves have dried off. So we'll keep working on it, just like the other ones. I'm not too worried about this one actually dying. Once I get them outside, I just got to make it through the next couple months. And when they get outside, they always seem to flower again. I just got to keep them wet and watered for these couple months. We put another one of the lemon plants in the back. This one has been in the kids' room, so it's in the back of the house. Actually has little bugs on it, so it's kind of getting neglected back here. It needs to get watered, so he's gonna come water it right now. This one's got full sun back here, but it's right underneath the heat vent, so I have to make sure that it stays watered and moist because it's just drying it out back here. So these flowers did not pollinate as well as I would have hoped, but I'm not worried that it's gonna die. I think it'll be okay. Here for fun was the lime, or my vanilla plant. And this one's years from doing anything, but it loved being outside, and it grew. I mean, it was tiny when I planted it in June, and now it's come all the way up. I don't know, I won't have enough room for it, but we'll keep this in the bathroom because the bathroom will keep it nice and warm all year and high humidity. Here is a cluster of grapes. We'll get them down and we can eat them. But these are Razzmatazz. As you see, they're a hybrid of grape and muscadine, but they're tiny. They're really good. Kind of taste like a muscadine, but they have thin skin and no seed, which is nice. But they are a grape.